They are invincible, undeniable, and two-time Super Bowl champions. Welcome to the Indiana Chiefs Fan Podcast, where we talk about our favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs. I am Golden Jay. I am a four-time podcast. What am I? Podcast emperor.
Yep.
And with me, as always, is a three-time podcasting favorite, Chico Noise, and one-time podcaster, the Chief, Phil Jordan. Welcome, gentlemen. It's good to see you. I feel like I just seen you within the last 24 hours.
I just saw you like
2 hours ago. Yeah, hour and a half ago.
I just saw you.
We went up to Chico's house, had supper with Mama Mills, and she made an amazing meal. And I have a full belly and a long couple of days, and I am happy to be here, but I may not be the wittiest motherfucker today. Let me tell you. So
I concur. I just got back literally 45 minutes ago from the 8.5, 9-hour drive from the great Kansas City metro area. Yeah, I always love getting down there. It's coming back that I dread. It's like, oh my gosh, we got the drive. But going down there, all we do is talk about Chiefs. You know, on the way back, it's like, well, today was a little better because, believe it or not, Jeremy, I changed the channel off Sirius XM
No
radio. Yeah.
He didn't listen to the call, guys.
No. What'd you listen
to? The news.
These wonderful podcasts, and you are listening to the news.
You got to understand how seriously I take this. The election. I'm very engaged in it, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to listen. So, and I listened to two channels, one being Republican, one being Democrat. I listened to both.
You gotta have you know what, in this situation that we're in the wonderful United States of America, you need to listen to both sides and form an opinion of down the middle. Because if you get too wrapped up in one side or the other, it's just going to destroy your mind. You need to listen to both sides and formulate your own opinion. And come up with an educated synopsis.
Yes, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but we'll go over that towards the end.
All right.
But yeah, it was a good drive back. I had a great time with everybody. It was fun time as always.
Oh man, Kansas City is an amazing town, and I always enjoy running around doing things with you guys when we're out there. But let me tell you about our trip down and what we did this round there, Chico. I don't know that I told you this, but on the way down, me and the rocker chick decided that we wanted to buy Powerball tickets in every state that we went to. So we have Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas Powerball tickets for what was Saturday night's drawing, and we still lost it.
and Jeremy, I have not checked any of my
He hasn't checked his numbers yet.
I haven't even looked at them yet. I mean, I could be a millionaire or 5 millionaire or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Or you could have won shit like me.
So I got to get them out of Karen's purse with everything else of mine.
Yeah. And spare.
Just download the Hoosier Lottery app. You can just scan them on there.
All states?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
really?
I do have all of the lotto apps except for Kansas because Karen's thing to pass time is to spend my money driving down. On these stupid crossword ones that just drive me insane. But that's how my wife passes time. So when we stopped at that last exit coming home this time, right before we hit the Illinois border, because I don't buy gas in Illinois because it's overpriced, overtaxed. We'll let it go at that. We're at the counter. She's like, yeah, I would like that crossword one. I like 10 of them. Just like,
Well, you realize just saying that alone, gas in Kansas City is almost $1 cheaper than it is here in Indiana.
that is correct. I love my Missouri or Kansas gas. It don't matter. It's dollar cheaper either
A
way you
dollar
look at
cheaper.
it.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
I,
with that being said, Indiana's overtaxed their fucking gasoline also. So,
yep, I concur.
yeah.
But yeah, for anyone that's driving to the games is coming from our area, fill up wherever you are, drive through the entire state of Illinois, buy you a snack, buy you a coffee. Once you get over the border into Missouri, fill up again. And on the way back, at the last possible second, fill up again before you hit Illinois. Yeah, we went over the border and I actually paid attention. I paid $3.41 at the last possible place in Missouri. Go over the border, it was $3.99. I don't even know why they have a gas station near the border. Who's dumb enough to buy it? Would be my question. I just don't get it.
Well, if you're in Kansas City and you're listening to this podcast, you guys are damn lucky you don't live in Indiana because you're getting your gas $1 cheaper. So
This
anyway,
is true.
that's the road trip down on Saturday for us was real good. It seems like it's getting faster and faster with every time we head down that way. You start to learn the tricks and the trades of going and the shortcuts and the long cuts. And my drive back was a little, my GPS kept rerouting me all over. I ended up in some seriously weird back roads on the way home. I was going to take, once I got back in Indiana, I was going to take 14 across my normal way. And about halfway through that, it's fucking road construction. And the reroute took me in some of the weirdest places you'd ever seen. So that's my stupid mistake. I should have just kept 72 across and went through Lafayette and just been happy, but I didn't. I thought, I'll try this way. Fucking road construction everywhere. Totally got me. But
yep.
I did almost, and I think I mentioned this to you in a text message. I did almost wipe out a deer.
Yeah, you did mention that when
I was on 14, the part of 14 that wasn't a construction, and he was out of nowhere. And of course, Bobby's like, oh, and I'm like, hold on, I got this. And I'm Mario Andretti, that motherfucker, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, it's that dusk and dawn stuff, when you're driving and not the movie. Which I did like that movie, by the way. It's two movies in one, in my opinion, but that's all for different podcasts, obviously. But no, I'm on extra guard, dusk and dawn, on the highways or even on my local roads.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. So, anyways, Gunnar, let's break down. We made it to Arrowhead Stadium relatively early, surprisingly. And the last time you and me were there, you got something?
Yeah, I wanted to mention one thing. We had two extra people with us, Dave and Danielle, our niece and nephew, who hung out with us at the hotel. They came with us to Arrowhead, their very first Chiefs game. And with that, go ahead with the tailgating.
Well, the last time that we were there, you remember how packed the parking lot was there when we got there? We kind of just get into a spot. I have never seen that parking lot that empty when we first get there, especially for a night game. It was like, the lot D that we're always parking was, you could have any spot in the place pretty much. I was relatively surprised. So
it did fill up,
Oh yeah.
quickly.
Eventually. But, I didn't realize we were there that early, but maybe we were, maybe it was just over excitable to get there, but.
Well, we wanted to make sure that Dave and Danielle had time to, bring everything in, the sight sounds, and then we get to the gift shop, quickly, before it closes. And
that's where I was going. As soon as we got parked, we headed down to the pro shop because that's a routine that we have really adapted to, getting down into the pro shop before the game starts. That way, it's you're not running around with 700 people shoved into that little room.
So rephrase it. So they close it for about an hour, let's give or take, and then they reopen 2.5 hours before game time. And if you go within that 2.5 hours before game time,
yeah, it's not pretty.
It's a mosh pit in there, pretty much. Oh.
Yeah, you're banging off of everything. And you know what I did? We had gotten to Rally House on Saturday night, and spent way too much money. But to go to the pro shop, I've got to get my game day poster. It's become a thing for me, because of Phil and getting me started on that. I look at my Giants one, which is framed on my wall every day, and I'm very appreciative that I've got that. And I've got 3 of them now to frame from this year. So I got my game day poster, and then your mom was talking about well, I need a jersey that's big enough to go over all these clothes so that I can wear it on the outside of all my warm clothes. So we ended up buying her a Travis Kelce jersey. We got an extra large so that we could both, swap on and off. If I wanted to wear it, it's a red one, unlike my gray one, which I was wearing. And so we picked that up, and the poster and a magnet, and just some odds and, just the odds and ends. And we headed on out. Oh, I bought a pair of sunglasses too. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. Those are nice.
We headed out outside, and Gunner, we're big fans of checking everything out. So it really was, like I said, the parking lot was empty. So the walking grounds were there wasn't a ton of people out there. So we seen where they filmed the football, the Sunday night football, and you could see everything. But we got over to the side, and of course there was the Coca-Cola cart where you could take your picture and get a chance to get on the Tron, the big screen. So we did that, and then Phil's like, "Hey, did you see the wigwam or the teepee over here?" And so we went over to look at the teepee and get our picture taken of it. And the guy that sets it up was nice enough to come over and give us a little chat. So I sent you the video. Can you put it in there right here?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay, welcome to the teepee. We're going over all these no, ma'am. No. Sorry. Every one of these arrowheads is a 53-man roster. Once we make our cut, they sign an arrowhead and I sew it on. This one right here is Mahomes' rookie signature right there under Alex Smith whenever he came on board with the Chiefs. Then his next year was his NFL MVP. Right. Notice how you can read his signature after you sign it 100 million times. It gets a little scribbly, but right there, that's his NFL MVP. Go ahead.
No, I was going to tell her to move.
You also see that Mahomes, he was already getting close with Kelce, even his rookie year, all right? They were together. So
I love it.
You get over here on the other side.
For the Super Bowl year.
We're actually blessed to have our winning Super Bowl team right here.
That is so awesome.
And as you can see, you can hardly read Patrick Mahomes now because he scribbled it so many times. But
so how many of these? Oh, here. How many of these do you have of the arrowheads?
I actually have three teepees.
Okay.
I have 33 teams.
Complete
teams. I go back to Christian Okoye, Steve DeBerg, Duran, and all of those guys. If you're an ex-player, an owner, Clark Hunt's on the back, Willie Lanier, our president, Mark Donovan's on here. If you come to the tailgate, you can sign it anywhere you want. Okay. Jan Stenerud's over here. But this is all about the history of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I met John in the tunnel when they retired his number.
Oh, really?
And he shook my hand. We were doing the halftime show. Just happened to be, he was standing there. We're getting his number retired. And I'm like, hey,
Isn't it amazing how they're just regular people?
Oh, yeah. I love it. I met so many people, including Lynn Dawson. About 10 years ago, they were doing the ESPN shoot when we were 9-0, I think, at the time.
Okay.
And he was a sweetheart. Really nice guy.
Lamar Hunt signed it November 19th, 1995 on the very first TP.
So how old was he then? 95. So he's about, what, 25-ish, 30?
No, Lamar.
Oh, Lamar. I thought,
Lamar,
sorry.
his dad.
My bad.
But they hung a picture in Canton, Ohio in the Hall of Fame of it. And I went up there and saw it. And at the time I came back, and Willie Lanier, Bobby Bell, Lynn Dawson, Lamar Hunt, Jan Stenerud, they all signed that original one after I came back. So
that's awesome.
It's just pretty historic, and I've just been blessed to share it with people that come there on here. Welcome.
Awesome. Like I said, I saw it 10 years ago, and I remember something about it, and I was like, I don't remember the story now.
Well, it's been a journey, let me tell you. It was a lot funner when I was 30 than I am now, but I'm still doing it. So.
Well, awesome. Keep it up.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. Tell all your Chiefs fans back home. We love the Chiefs Nations everywhere.
Yeah. So these two right here, that's their first game ever.
Good deal.
In the NFL stadium anywhere. And they became Chiefs fans because we kept talking about it.
Well,
they were like, we like the Chiefs now. And they'd never followed football before, and now here we are.
There's no better place to enjoy football. And it's amazing to me how many people from out of town come to Kansas City.
Right.
Other opposing fans, and just
marvel at it.
Yeah, I mean, they say, you guys are nice people. The hospitality is wonderful, and we just like sharing our happiness up here.
So here's your newest Chiefs fan. This is Dave.
Dave.
This is Danielle.
Hi, Danny. Nice to meet you.
And this is our first game ever.
Welcome to the kingdom.
Thank you. We're so excited. It's like Christmas.
Yeah. Well, take your picture and turn it into a Christmas card.
I should.
Yeah. And then maybe somebody will send you a Christmas card with them sitting in front of you.
Very true. And your name was?
Dave Shipper.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
Call me TV Man.
All right, TV Man.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, there's the video for the guy that we met. Phil, you said you met him before?
Yeah, he's been. I mean, we had season tickets for a long time, or quite a bit, and we took a break, and he's been there all of 15 years that I'm aware of, and obviously by his story that you heard, I don't recall if he said when he started doing it, but I want to say, what did he say, about 30 years or something like that?
He's been, I think so, for a long time. Yeah,
somewhere around there. But really nice gentleman. So if you go to the gift shop, basically it's on the Arrowhead side. If you're looking at the jumbotrons, and facing the Lamar Hunt statue, if you're facing that, looking at the gift shop, it'll be off to the right. And you can't miss it. He's in the same spot every single game. Really nice fellow. Go over and check it out. It's really cool.
Yeah, super nice guy. And the stories and all the autographs he's got on there that you've seen in that video, and he'll love to tell you all about it. So, yeah, that was pretty exciting. So we decided to continue around and to see the rest of the stadium and walk around, and of course, you get off to that one side there where the players' entrance is at, in that tunnel or whatever, and there's a bunch of what looked like party buses, the big limo buses or whatever. And old Chief here starts freaking out. He's like, wait a second, speed up. You gotta come on, walk faster. There's somebody important in that.
Yep, I knew it.
And we turned up and looked over, and you know who we ran into coming out of his bus? That's right,
Clark Hunt, the one and only.
But let me tell you a quick. So yeah, if Phil was like, get up there, there's somebody important in there, and we see who it is, and Phil takes off like a little girl that that you don't have a leash on. He goes running up there, which was that's fine, because we're all like really close behind him, but he runs up and he's like, that's fucking Lamar Hunt. That's
oh my god,
Lamar, and he's like,
oh shit. I got a little.
I'm standing there. Wait, no, hold on. I'm standing there and I'm looking at Karen, and I go, what'd he say? did he say Lamar? And I had to pause for a second because, my brain's got to calculate everything that is going on at this moment. And I'm like, it's not Lamar, it's Clark. It's Clark. And Karen goes, yeah, Lamar's his dad. But there's Phil, Lamar.
Hey, I was a little caught up in the moment. I've seen this guy on the field when we did the halftime shows. I've seen him when we had seats in the lower bowl right in front of me. I was like, man, one of these days I'm gonna meet this guy. One of these days. It probably took all of 12 years. So I was a little starstruck to meet the owner of the Chiefs, and it got the best of me.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, and I've run across this since we posted pictures on Facebook of it. Clark Hunt is the owner and CEO of the Kansas City Chiefs, for all those people that don't know, which I found out there's a lot of people that don't know that.
That's why I added it to my post, because people were like, who is that? I mean, obviously my family knew who it was, but people up in here, you got to kind of explain it to them, It's just not some guy with glasses and a suit,
Yeah. So Phil rolls up there, and there's a guy standing there, and he's got a Sharpie and some helmets, and Clark is nice enough. He's signing a couple of this guy's items, and Phil rolls up and he's like, Lamar, come on, will you sign my jersey? And he goes, hey man, can I borrow your Sharpie?
Hey, you got to be innovative, man.
So he borrowed the Sharpie, and Clark signed his jersey, and I got a couple pictures. And I looked at your mom, and I looked at Bobby, and I was like, go on up there. And so she went in, and then Karen was in, and I walked up, and I just looked at him and said, man, I just want to shake your hand. And he shook my hand, and I think Phil goes, can you get your sign? I'm like, man, do you got time to get this sign? Do you got a couple seconds? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Boom, flipped around. He signed my jersey. He also signed Dave's jersey, which that was might have been Phil's jersey, but now it's Dave's. So because Phil was nice enough to give it to him.
Yeah, and I figured, you know what? I already have 2 signatures in the family, and they've become Chiefs fans over the years by listening to Karen and I. He didn't know who he was. We told him after the fact, but you know what? I've been trying to get his signature, by walking around the stadium for a long time. And I know as they grow in fandom, this is going to mean so much more to him. So I let him keep it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know that when I sat with him in the car after the game, while you guys were running into the old gas station, he goes, I mean, I can't believe he's giving me this jersey. And, he was just super excited to have it. So, we did, then we, basically trotted our way, walking on clouds like we were the shit back to the tailgated and did smash burgers and stuff. Me and the rocker chick broke off. Of course, Phil and Karen and Dave and Danielle headed out to the tent, the party tent.
Oh no, we missed a couple things.
Oh, that's true. We did. While we were tailgating, we ran into a couple people. Our good friend Carlos was out there hanging out with us. Yep. So we got a chance to catch up with him. We love Carlos. He's become a true podcasting favorite, so. And we ran into
the Pope, Bob, one of my friends that we became friends with probably a good 10 years ago. And brought him over to meet the gang, and just miss him and his wife. Will be at the next. Well, him or his wife will be at the next game, and I'm still working on getting him to get on a podcast. So I'm hoping it'll happen soon. But if not, if you're ever at the Chiefs game and you see a guy walking around, he's the only one. Trust me. With a Pope outfit on, shake his hand, ask for a picture. He's a really gracious person.
Yeah, it was he really nice. Like I said, I got a chance to meet him, talk to him just briefly before I had to get back to cooking. But
Oh yeah, and also the nuns. So we met the Pope and the nuns. You forgot about the nuns.
The nuns were early while we were
Yeah.
while we were talking to the TP guy. The girls ran into the nuns or whatever.
It was cool.
I didn't get a chance to really. That's why it didn't stick with me because I didn't really talk to him. But
But it's just cool, you know. You get a picture with the Pope and the nuns,
and the Pope and the nuns.
Clark. I mean, come on, it's a perfect God-given day.
Well, you know, I got to add a little more in there because I did get my picture taken with the Pope, and I did get my picture taken with Clark. And me and the Rocker Chick split off and headed down to where they were filming the Sunday Night Football for what is NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox. I don't whatever fucking whoever has
I think it was. I think it was
NBC.
on the NBC
It was
and
NBC.
and it was on ESPN also.
Right on. So we're hanging out down there, and I run into almost Andy Reid, the guy that you always see on the TV every week, who you know, is up in the stands that looks like Andy Reid. And I ran into him and mustered up a conversation with him, got my picture taken with him, and got to talking to him, and of course told him about our little podcast, and maybe we can get him on here too. He said he would be interested in come on, so I got to make my contacts, and hey, we might have almost Andy Reid on here too, which would be awesome. Because that dude has a ton of information. I mean, you know, he knows
Yeah.
a lot of shit, so he's been definitely a fan for a long time.
And then while he was over getting his picture with Andy Reid, I brought Dave and Danielle to the party tent. His season ticket member, you get to choose events, and you know, you get this one I chose for them, and the people hosting it as part of the Chiefs were kind enough to let Karen and I join in with them, and lo and behold, I turn around and there's Casey Wolf. So it was just one of those days, man, where we got pictures with everybody, you know, we could think of, including Casey Wolf there. It was just bizarro day, you know.
It was because I also ran into Casey Santa Claus, so I got my picture taken with him.
I got my picture taken with him last year in Cincinnati.
Really, he was in Cincinnati. That's crazy.
At the game, and he gave me his card, which I still have in the Infinity, oddly enough.
Nice.
But like I said, it was just one of those days where everything just happened. I mean, it was awesome. And folks, when you go to a Chiefs game, if you've never been to one, over half the fun is tailgating, meeting people, talking to people, walking around. Just don't stay at your car. You know, walk around, meet people. You're going to run into some crazy, nice people, you know, people you've seen on TV, such as the makeshift Andy Reid, and you never know. And the Pope.
Yep.
You never, and the nuns, and Casey Wolf, and, you know, don't just stay at your car. Do a walk around. You'll be amazed what you'll run into, who you'll see, what kind of fans are out there. I highly suggest it.
Pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, then we headed on into the game. Took that. I really hope in the future they put an escalator to my seats, because once again, I think it was snowing up on where I was at, but
did you get altitude sickness?
Every time, a little bit of vertigo. Actually, as much fun as I make of it, the view that I have is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You get to see everything that's going on from up there. You can see the field really, really well, and it actually makes the game enjoyable from being able to see everything going on. Like I've said in past podcasts, I'm really working on trying to figure out what everybody's doing, so you get a chance to kind of see the play to develop out. But don't get me wrong, man, it's quick, it's so fast. NFL is so fast, but there's certain things that happen, and you're like, why didn't he see Hardman in the end zone? He was wide open. And the guy in front of me goes, no shit, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But just things like that, you just happen to see more and more from that angle, being at that height. So super fans up there, man. They're all pretty great. So I haven't run into anybody I don't like. Anybody just annoyed me or anything like that. But it's always a good time up here. How about you?
Did you see the pregame?
Which part?
They had the Army parachuted
Oh,
in
yep,
during
sure
the
did.
pregame, so that
Yep.
was our second helping of watching folks,
Parachute into Arrowhead.
yeah, and it's always exciting when a night game and you just see them up there. You see the little red light. It's getting closer
Well,
and closer.
they had what do you call those? The shooting out of their feet.
Smoke.
The smoke bombs.
They weren't smoke bombs, they were sparklers, I guess is the best thing
Oh,
I can
that's right.
say.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't do the smoke. Yeah, I'm thinking of the other folks. But yeah,
Now,
these are all Army guys, coming in. But yeah, it was just badass.
well, but there was there was like what? There was a bunch of them, like what, 7 or 8, maybe 10
Yeah.
of them that came in.
Eh,
And from our seats, you look straight up
mhm.
and it's dark and it's a little cloudy up there and you can just make out their parachutes, but you can see those sparklers shooting out of their feet while they're up there doing circles, and that was pretty badass. Just to look up and watch that, let alone coming in and those guys, man, those guys were I mean, the first ones that we saw during that Oakland game, the one when the one guy planted his face on the field. These guys were I think 10 times better parachuting guys than the first man.
Is
in
it
the
called?
first batch.
Is that parachutist or
Parachute? I don't know. I just don't know.
What's that other one? Goose or geese? Or I can't remember.
Yeah,
the one.
goose, geese, gaggle, a gaggle of geese. There you go. But yeah, that was fun. It was exciting. And then the game started. And all the fun and excitement just kind of got drained from the entire stadium. Chico, you were at home. Chico bought himself a projector and he's got this big old screen he was watching it on.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' head was 10 feet wide by 4 feet, 4.5 feet tall. Yeah, I set that up to watch it down there because we've talked about watching some movies down there when it comes around to Christmas time, so I wanted to have something ready. So I was like, I'll just watch the game down here. Took the soundbar down, plugged it in, started the game, kicked back in the chair, and just sat there disappointed for 30 minutes of football. And then came upstairs.
Well, we did our Kansas City did our opening drive, and for the most part, it was relatively a good drive, but it only ended up in 3 points.
Yeah.
So we did take the lead early at 3-0, and then Butker missed what should have been a chip shot for him.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did read a couple articles where Tommy might have been holding the ball improperly, so I just want to throw that out there. I don't know for a fact what goes on down there for sure, but just something to think about as far as that goes. But what should have been a chip shot for Butker, I would have thought was a miss. Of course, Tennessee 2 touchdowns in the second quarter to take the lead. What was it, 14-9, I think, at the half.
Yeah, because we missed a PAT also.
Well, yes. Yeah, we did get a touchdown and missed the point after. That was the Hardman touchdown, which was a pretty amazing touchdown if you want to go back and watch that one. I mean, he was juking and jibing and got himself across that goal line, which was pretty amazing.
So I will say that from an Arrowhead impact perspective, the first half, Chiefs did not do anything to get the crowd into the game. They were flat. I was not happy with their play. I mean, they outplayed this team. I mean, you'll probably hit the stats later, but they outplayed this team 2-1 on everything except for rushing. But man, the Arrowhead impact was dead. I mean, I was not impressed. The crowd wasn't into it. Made me not want to get into it, honestly, being there at the game.
Oh, I agree with you 100% because you're kind of there and you're waiting for that electricity to come off that field, and then you're just kind of sitting there wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
I have, and everybody has an off day, and we've always given this stat any given Sunday, but man, Travis just did not look like his head was in the game.
No. I mean, he and Mahomes on certain plays, he overthrew Travis, and then the balls he threw to Travis, he dropped 2 or 3 of them. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
And that's very unlike Travis Kelce. And I mean, he's always a sure-handed guy. And like I said, any Sunday, I mean, everybody has a bad day, and maybe that was just hopefully that's his only bad day he has for the rest of the season, hopefully, because he's an amazing player. Will not talk bad about Travis Kelce. He just had a bad day.
I'm going to talk bad about is McKinnon. Number 1, don't give him the ball. I know you're listening because every time I mention something, Sky Moore's no longer fielding.
That's true. Yeah.
He is not a number 1 running back. I read an article yesterday, I think, that said Clyde Edwards-Helaire was in only on 13% of the plays. Why? Don't get it. McKinnon gets 1 yard every single time. You give him the ball on 4th and 2. He's getting 1 yard. I can tell you. Don't give him the ball on 1 yard. He's much better, probably, play pass up, play action. But
and they say that McKinnon's more of a better of a blocker as far as that goes. I don't
Pacheco
know.
Didn't do anything either. I mean,
no, I got to admit, I was a little disappointed in Pacheco. I mean, he has not turned it up. This is what, game 9? Does that sound right?
Yep, we're halfway through the season.
Yeah, I mean, we ought to be seeing some sort of productivity out of Pacheco as far as,
Yeah.
But when Patrick Mahomes throws 68 times with 43 completions, you tend to kind of keep rolling that way. 446 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to give me those stats and say that Patrick Mahomes threw for over 400 yards, hey, Gunner, how many touchdowns would you say that would be?
4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly. We were not punching it in. Penalties, interceptions, going in 3rd down and 2 and giving it to McKinnon. I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot in this entire game. I mean, anytime someone passes over 400 yards and you have 1 touchdown, I mean, that's not good.
No, not good at all.
And we put it all on Mahomes. Mahomes, throw the ball. Mahomes, throw the ball. If it wasn't for him rushing for the touchdown and him rushing for the 2-point conversion, forget all his passing stats, we would have lost.
Period. Holy shit, I'm just looking at this. I did not realize that Travis had 10 receptions for 106 yards.
He did, but again, we weren't getting touchdowns.
No, and I get that. I understand that, and a lot of balls overthrown in the end zone, way too high and stuff like that. I didn't realize that Travis had over 100 yards. So.
And that's why I asked Gunner, if I were to tell you any quarterback, I don't know what his name, you can use anyone, that they had over 400 yards, how many touchdowns do you think he had? I mean, I would say 4 or 5 also.
Now you flip that around. So Mahomes had 446 yards. You want to take a gander take a guess at what Willis had?
Willis.
He would be he was the quarterback he's the quarterback for Tennessee.
No, I know. I'm trying to think. 161.
No.
I don't remember.
Gunner?
80.
All right, half of that.
He was 5 for 16 for 80 yards.
But
So-
he had 40 yards rushing, and Derrick Henry was all over that ball. So
So I woke.
But yeah,
I get
Derrick Henry 115 yards on 17 carries. Sorry.
So I got to give credit where it's due, though. The second half, they didn't score. Did they?
No, they did not
Yeah.
score in the second half. Well, no,
they
I
had
think that's
they
3
had a
points.
field goal.
They had a
Yeah.
field goal.
Oh, okay. All right. They got a field goal, but
Yep.
the defense shut them down.
Dude, the defense saved our ass in that game.
Yeah. Well, defense and Patrick Mahomes rushing.
Right.
I mean,
Well, but still, 63 yards is not.
no. Those 63 yards gave us a touchdown and 2 points.
That's true. That's true.
I know he scrambled randomly through the game, but if
Right.
it wasn't the rest for once gave us, 2 penalties. I think it was on our 2-point conversion.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God. I was about ready to just don't get me started what I was ready to do. But for once, they helped us instead of, I got so tired of the damn flags in the game.
Oh,
And
my, yeah.
For the love of fucking God, don't line off offsides twice in the same series, dude.
Yep.
Look at where your arm is. If you line off offsides once, okay, fine. You do it again on the same series. Dude, get some glasses. Hey, Andy Reid, get this guy some contacts so he can look down the line and see if he's offsides.
Yep.
I'm okay with them jumping the ball, trying to get up, trying to rush the passer, I'm good with that. But lining up offsides is just unforgivable, in my opinion.
Right.
And doing it twice, the same person. Twice.
But who was it? Who was it?
I don't remember. I was so pissed. Gunnar, do you remember?
I don't remember who it was.
But, and that was all in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. They got their shit together the second half and shut them down. But man, it's those stupid mental penalties that can be avoided. And the other thing I don't get in the entire NFL, why do you ever catch a ball? Just catch a ball and go to one knee. All right, on a punt. You know why? Because you're going to get a 15 fucking yard penalty every damn time because someone that's blocking for you is holding. Just go to one knee, catch the ball, fair catch. We'll just take it here because if I try to run at 30 yards, it's going to go back 40 yards. If I were an NFL punter, I would catch the ball or fair catch it, whatever, and just run to the sidelines. I don't get it. And that's an NFL issue. 2/3 of every punt return is a penalty.
Can't
Or higher.
argue with that. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I remember I've seen a lot of. You see a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of holdings, a lot of illegal
Block in the
blocks in the back.
But you know what? If I were the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, if they punt the ball, just have the guy run to the sidelines, or fair catch it and just walk off. We're better off. We're not going to get the 15-yard penalty that comes afterwards.
Well, you've seen even when Pacheco was in for a lot of those returns. I think he's figured out that instead of trying to make some spectacular play and get out there, heels on the goal line. If it's going to go over your head, let it go. Don't run back, try to take it out. You'll see. I've seen a lot of that in this weekend's game, and I think I even said out loud, nice job, Pacheco.
Yeah.
Way to just let it go away. Let's take it on 25 and go from there instead of getting buried at the 10 or something like that. So, it's coming along. Tomb's doing a good job of, kind of working out the bugs of that. The team is so young that, we have a very, very, very young team. A lot of rookies, Pacheco and Williams and Watson and, Watson and, Furious George, a lot of rookies, and they're learning. We're getting there.
Yeah,
hey, man, we're still winning. We still got the W. We're still winning.
Yeah.
They're not the, a 20-17 win over, in my mind, a team that we should have destroyed. I mean, hats off to King Henry, 115 yards on just 17 carries. A couple of those breakouts were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And the other running back that they have, and I can't think of his name, he had a couple really nice runs. That's their bread and butter, obviously, especially now that Willis is going to be continued to take the helm for Tennessee. I mean, they're definitely going to have to really count on their running game because
I think
that offensive line don't give them enough time to throw the ball.
Well, I think when Tannehill's back, he'll be back. I mean, I don't think Willis will be in when Tannehill comes back unless I missed something in the news.
No. Tannehill's still there, but I do believe Willis is a young quarterback that they're hoping to hang their hat on for the future. And if they're going to do that, they need to figure out a line that's going to give him time to throw the ball.
Agreed.
Obviously, he didn't have any time, and we reap the benefits as Chiefs fans to watching him get sacked in that last series that they had twice. So which basically won the game for us. So
yeah. Hey, Gunner, I haven't watched the game yet because I normally before we do the podcast, I would have already watched it. But what were and not that some of these commentators are any good because they get on their high horse and just talk about the other team the whole game. But what did you gain any insights from any of that?
No, not really. I think with it being such a slow game, they didn't really have a whole lot to say. So when you go back and watch it, I'd like to actually hear what you hear from them because I mean it was.
Who were the commentators? You remember it was a Buck and
normal Sunday Night Football.
Okay, all right, cool. Because that's one thing I do like to do is rewatch the game when I get home. Before the podcast, but unfortunately I didn't have time today. So because I was driving that lonesome 8.5 hours. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy we won. Any given Sunday, like you said, hopefully, we got another game coming, obviously this week, which could be a trap game. I mean, come on, that what is it, NFC South, right? That we're playing this year.
Yeah.
It just seems that if you go back and look at our track record against that division, we could be 9-0 and we're going to lose.
Right,
a crappy team in that division. And I'm not saying Titans are crappy at all.
No, Titans are 5-3. I mean, that's not really that's not a terrible record.
No, I'm just saying. I'm looking at the Jaguars game, and I'm just like, come on, guys, don't do a Colts on me. The Colts fired their head coach. They fired their offensive coordinator. They freaking put a player that's never even been a coach as their head coach today. I mean, how bad's it got to be? And yet we lose against them. I mean, come on, for the love of God, don't do that this next week,
and
please.
Please. Kansas City is known to play down to the teams that they shouldn't be playing down to, and the culture of that team. I mean, they've always been that team that we always seem to have this. I said it even then. That's the Colts curse. We just cannot beat the Colts. Tennessee has held us many. I mean, this is just one of the few wins we've gotten against Tennessee.
However, one of our best ones ever was against them when we were down 21 or 24-0 in the quarter.
In the playoffs, yeah,
and just spanked their ass.
Yep.
Anyway, hey, Andy Reid, are you listening? Tell them we're playing Philly, and those green uniforms, they're not really green. They're gold and black. Do a Jedi mind trick on them.
Yeah, there you go. This Bobby Boucher, that bad boy.
Yeah. So
water sucks. It really, really sucks.
So, and I'm going to be honest on my pick and my gambling stuff I do on the side. I did not take the 12 points. I took the money line on the Chiefs. I knew they weren't going to cover. I knew it. There's no way. I mean, I would have won straight out if I would have taken the Titans, but I just took the money line bet because I just knew it. And I think in my heart that this next game will be a blowout. It will be. No question in my brain. Because
All right. Well,
they played
we've
like crap this game.
we've talked about the game and we've talked about all that. Chico, what were our predictions for last week for this game?
Well, okay. So let me ask you guys a question. When we score this, are we gonna pull a difference? Because we were all so far off that it's hard to even like look at it and just say, okay, this is who won this week.
It just makes it sad to relive what we thought was
Yeah.
going to happen.
So, Chief, you had 38-17 Chiefs. I had 31-28 Chiefs, and the Emperor had 42-10 Chiefs.
I'd say you won by those numbers.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I'm okay with that. I know I was way off. I knew watching when I
Yeah.
walked out of that stadium on Sunday night, I was like, I didn't fucking come close to that.
Well, like I said, if looking at the stats, you would think it would have been 41-10, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. And again, a win's a win. Whether you play good, you play bad. I just wish, it wasn't had to go to overtime and all the other crap. But I'll take it. The crowd did wake up, by the way, in the fourth quarter there, Gunner. They finally came alive, and, Arrowhead was electric, from the fourth quarter on. But, I'm going to tell you, Chiefs fans, one thing. Because it irritates me when I see it on TV, and I saw it on Sunday Night Football. I'm sitting there 2 minutes ago. We're getting ready to score, do all the fun stuff. About a quarter or a third, right as we're getting ready to go to overtime, leaves the stadium. Dude, yeah, I already spent 3 hours in the game. You're already invested. The crowd's back into it. Why would you leave? Oh, to save 5 minutes to get out of the parking lot? Or you just think the Chiefs are going to lose? Don't do that. Stay and watch the game. Support your team.
I like to wait until the final whistle.
Yeah, I mean, if we're up 41-10, you want to leave, halfway through the fourth quarter, go ahead. I went out to the parking lot at the end of the game. Jeremy stayed, we stayed. Parking lot was already at least a quarter to a third gone.
Yep.
And I mentioned it to the wife. I don't remember which game we were watching a couple weeks ago. And I was like, that's sad. Look, everybody's leaving. They're not even thinking their team's going to win. And that's kind of the feeling I got when I saw people leaving Arrowhead. Don't see that happen that often in the past few years. So that's my last rant. I'm done.
All right. Well, this weekend, you guys, the Chief and his wife Karen, and Chico Noise and his wife Sarah are off to Arrowhead Stadium to watch the Kansas City Chiefs host the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hoorah.
Where Trevor Lawrence comes into town to lead the Jaguars. And, and as much as I hate to say it, Trevor's having a horrible season.
Yeah, he's got 11 touchdowns this year.
Really? What's Mahomes? What's he setting at right now?
21 or 22, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
I was hoping that Trevor would have a really good season because, I got my autographed Trevor Lawrence helmet setting up on the shelf back over here.
You just leave it there and let that bad mojo just keep coming.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. One more week. All right, Chico, let's do predictions on this weekend's game. Hit me with it.
30-17 Chiefs.
30-17.
Yep.
Okay. Chief?
34-3.
Whoa. All right.
I think they're gonna put a smackdown to make a statement.
All right. I am gonna go 34-13 Kansas City. I think I have no reason for the 13.
What'd you have there, Chief?
Shit. 31, what did I say? 34?
31-3 or 34-3?
Something like that. I'm just giving them 3, and we'll be in mid-30s. But I'll go with 31. That's fine.
All I'm gonna say here, kiddos, is Kansas City is going to be a little chilly this weekend, so make sure you pack your long johns because you're going to be in that stadium for a while. So get in there and enjoy the game, but make sure you guys stay warm because it's going to be a chilly one out there.
Shorts and a tank top.
I seen people in shorts this weekend. I was like, damn, I don't know how he does it. But yeah. Chico, I'm glad that Sarah's finally getting a chance to go to a game. Basically her one and done for the year, I guess, which will change next year. Obviously, she get to go to a couple.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's going to be the coldest game of the year so far. Poor girl.
We've been there when we're just in our t-shirts and flip flops, and she's got to go wear a parka. And are you or are you not? Are you going to wear your onesie?
Yep.
So Chico, if you guys see him floating around Arrowhead, he's going to be in his onesie. Make sure you give him a high five
or a diaper change.
Hey, I'm gonna wear my diapers anyway, so gotta wear them during a game. I don't get up.
There you go. Hey, sometimes you got to do that. That's a long walk back up those stairs, and as an old man, I'm not gonna make that more than any time than I have to. So I just pinch it off with a close with a with a
chip clip.
Chip clip.
With a paper
a really
clip?
strong one.
No, a paper clip.
Nope, just
no, I was trying to think about what is a laundry clip that you hang your laundry
clothespin.
Clothespin. There you go. Maybe a bread tie. You just never know. But whatever it takes to get the job done.
I have to use a hose clamp.
Oh, that's so good. I use some PVC clamps and
you use that little paper clip.
Binder clip.
It's terrible.
Hell, that would hurt.
Me and the Chief did spend a little time hanging out in the parking lot. One of the funniest things was this guy rolled up and I got my back to him as I'm talking to Phil and I hear him go, "Yo, bro, who done signed your jersey?"
I forgot about that.
And so I went and talked to him, and I had to show him pictures of Clark Hunt signing my jersey.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He was a little frustrated trying to get out of the parking lot because the guy pulled out right in front of him and kind of cut him off. But yeah, I think we got him in a better mood there. So yeah, it was enjoyable. We just stood there right at the entrance, just harassing people as they were leaving.
And I for a moment, because I had this Chiefs little pass thing around my neck, it kind of made me look a little official. I said maybe I can go direct traffic, but yeah, I didn't do that. And I forgot to mention, Jeremy. Yes, I am buying another Salute the Service jersey next weekend.
I bet you. Yeah.
Which I just bought on Saturday. So yeah. I can't do it.
I'm not disappointed. I'm not upset by that. I mean,
no.
I'd be happy to retire my Kelsey jersey with Clark's signature on it.
But, that was awesome. Great experience, except for the game.
Every game in Arrowhead is it's funny because I'm sitting there as the game's starting and I looked at Bobby and I said, right now that 10-hour drive is completely worth it.
Agree.
You're here in the stadium with 70,000 of your closest friends. You looked over the balcony and there's no dumpster fire. There's no homeless guy out there causing trouble. It was
hold on. Take that back. On the way to Arrowhead, we found him on the side of the road with his dog. I think he made a pilgrimage to Arrowhead.
I did yell out, "Are you from Cleveland?"
That's did. All. Gunner, he really did. I was
That doesn't
dying.
surprise me at all.
Oh, so yeah, I'm glad we made sure that he was part of this podcast yet again.
Every week. Some of the other Chiefs podcasts I listen to, they've been calling it, you know how we've been calling it a dumpster fire. They've been calling it a tire fire, which I think is hilarious too. It's like, oh man, they're just nothing but a tire fire.
Hey, speaking of which, on your timeline, I think it was your timeline. Who's the one person that said "Go Titans"?
Oh yeah, that's my buddy. That's I don't think he actually listened to this podcast, but I do want to, and I'm glad you brought this up. If he's listening, Chad Stepp, if you're listening, I saw no comments after the game.
I made a comment
every year when the Titans beat the Chiefs, he always throws something up on my timeline on my Facebook about, oh, you got to tighten up or whatever. I didn't see anything come across my Facebook page this week. So, what's up, buddy? What's going on? I was going to share the meme of Tennessee going down there getting their picture taken down the end zone after the defense did something that was great. And I just shook my head going, you guys ought to know better than that shit right there. But apparently they didn't. So,
which, by the way, I did put a comment during the game, not after. I said Titans down.
Like I said, I just let it go. I'm not that guy. It pisses me off that people like to throw that shit up on my page after the Chiefs lose. Right now there's very few of those, so they don't have a lot of time to give me a hard time. So,
well, I'm glad I asked, because I was thinking about that. I was like, I forgot to ask you after the game who that person was, and it just popped up in my head.
Yeah, he's always giving me a hard time, but never back in the. I never really give him a hard time back, even though his Titans lost again. 5-3, man. 5-3. That's all I have to say. You have no running game.
Well,
you have no passing game.
You
have is a running game. Good luck with that. So, all right. Anything else we need to touch on, Chico? What do you got for me?
Nothing. To-do list. That's about it.
All right. Well, what do you got on your to-do list for this week?
Well, Phil, I just want you to know I ordered your flag. I'm hoping it's going to be here soon.
I ordered the flag and the base, so my homework's done for last week.
I might steal it from you after each game or after the end of the season, so I can hang it on my house, just so it's hanging out there. To-do list, man. I don't know.
And Phil's looking around for something to put on his to-do list. Look at him.
No, remember I said I had it earlier in the show, and you said wait. I was like, no, I'll wait till the end. I totally forgot what it was now.
I would to be honest, go check out all of the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo network of podcasts, because we all put in a lot of work. And if you go listen to episode 33 of the Call Guys, it is our Halloween episode. Go check that out. And
you can't steal mine.
Oh, is that yours? I'm stealing the Emperor's. Go check that out, because Logan is doing a raffle, and in the episode 33 of the Call Guys, he does give the raffle code for you to send him an email or a message on Facebook. So if you get that, what is it, November 9th, I think is the last? No.
I do believe so, yes. I do believe that the last day. That's tomorrow.
So by the time
that would have been yesterday.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry, don't do that. So
I was gonna say, by the time this airs, it's too late.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
Podcast logic is hard to understand sometimes.
It is very
okay.
Very
well,
hard.
Go check them out. Go check out all the other podcasts, anyways.
That's good. That's good. That's perfect.
You go next, because I had a good one. I'm trying to remember what the hell it is.
I got nothing now. So I'm going to say make sure
go to Meyer.
To Meyer. Get your Christmas keg ale there. No.
Make sure to get your cats and dogs neutered or what? I mean, the old Price is Right ending.
Yeah, Calm down there, Bob.
The
Wrong,
price is wrong, Bob.
wrong price.
To-do list this week. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with what Gunnar said. Go check out the other podcasts. Golden Image or Golden Mojo Entertainment has to offer. We do have some pretty great fucking podcasts, and a couple of them are actually charting in Slovakia and Sweden.
Singapore.
Sorry, not Sweden, Singapore. They have some great merch. I am getting ready to order a few things for us to give away. Maybe it won't be around for the games this year, but we'll definitely have them for next year's games. We can give them away too, as we build this podcast. And tell all your friends.
Yeah.
All right, Chief. What do you got?
I'll be a son of a gun. I had this great idea, and remember, he was like, just wait till the end. I'm like, shit. Now we talked about the Chiefs and tailgating and everything else. All right. So my to-do is, all right, I'm going to make this Chiefs related just because that's our podcast.
Yeah.
My wife said she wasn't tailgating in the Jaguars game. My to-do list is to make sure she's out there tailgating.
I'm right there with you. I'll make sure she's out there too.
Well, once you guys get there and Chico and Sarah get over there, she'll be jumping out tailgating with you guys. So,
well, yeah,
it's just drinking beer, having fun.
Yeah, I cannot remember. Man, that's killing me because I had a killer one. I was like, I had it. I got it right.
You gotta write this stuff down.
I know, but I just got home, so
he'll text you at like 1:00 in the morning. Be like, hey,
yeah. Oh yeah. I always love those.
Oh, hey, speaking of which,
what?
All right, A, it hasn't come in yet. B, what did you do on the Chiefs app the other day?
No, we didn't. We're not just leave that alone. Just leave it alone. We'll discuss that later.
All right. Anyway,
I gotta stay off that damn Chiefs app.
Yeah, I know. It's addicting. Maybe that should be your homework.
Yeah, maybe just leave the Chiefs app alone. Yeah.
Closing out, I know that I was supposed to do homework, and my homework would get Karen to tailgate, but I really want to, I was really happy to see Dave and Danielle, become Chiefs fans, evolve into Chiefs fans. They had a great time. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Really enjoyed your guys' perspective of the Chiefs, and glad that you got to go to your first game.
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled that they got the experience that they got because the game may not have been the greatest game to go to. As far as the electricity and the passion that is normally inside of Arrowhead, then obviously we've been a part of in the past, Oakland or even the Cincinnati game. I mean that first half of that Cincinnati game last year was pretty amazing, as far as just the feeling of being in the stadium and rooting on your favorite team. But they got an experience outside of, and that has a lot to do with us getting there early and getting, a visual on everything that was there. And usually if you get there late, the visual's gone because there's so many people kind of stacked around, you kind of miss out. That teepee's been there forever. It's the first time I've actually seen it because there just wasn't a ton of people in that area at that time.
Well, I always see it. I just didn't think about it because I don't know. I think of you guys as, long time.
Yeah. We're like now veterans of being there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And, having Dave and Danielle there just made me think of everything, I was like, yeah, you got to go to the teepee,
Yeah.
But yeah, they told me today, they told me yesterday what a great time they had with, the Chiefs fans, Arrowhead in general, and how impressed they were. They even called she called her dad trying to con him into buying Chiefs season tickets next year.
Really?
So we'll see what happens. We might have a potential in the next year or two, another group coming down from NWI down to the Chiefs game. You never know.
Nice.
But in all sincerity, thanks, making great smash burgers yet again. David said that was the best smash burger he's ever had. Carlos loved your
My meatless,
yeah, your
my meatless smash burger.
yeah, he said it was great. But yeah, thanks again for cooking.
I,
It takes a lot.
Hey, my pleasure. It was fun. It's always nerve-wracking when it comes to trying to get that stuff dialed in, because there's so many elements of the smash burger you're trying to get done at one time, and the chaos of just being out there tailgating, having a good time with everybody kind of roaming around, and
yeah. And
plus
Gunner,
everybody kind of coming up and hanging out.
I guess it's my turn to cook this weekend. So
You don't think I can
I
cook?
want to know when it's your turn to cook when I go.
I think. Oh no, I didn't cook. Never mind. I take that back. All right, Gunner, it's up to
I
you.
mean, I'll let you
cooks.
cook. I'll let you cook. It's fine.
No, I said it's up to you because now. Oh no, you're not going to another game to the playoffs, right,
Yeah, maybe.
Jeremy?
Maybe go to the final.
We're still up in the air what we're going to do with the playoffs when all that happens. So,
Playoffs.
I don't want to say I'm going or say I'm not going, because I really don't know at this point.
Gotcha. Well, I guess if you want me to cook, you have to come to my house then. So,
That's right.
which I'm
Get
not
it done.
opposed to. But yeah, let me know. We'll figure that out when we get down there Saturday. Because we got to figure it out Saturday because it's a Sunday morning game. Or, we got to get out early
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Yep.
That's right. Is that a 1:00 game?
12.
12.
Well, it'll be 12 Kansas City time.
Well,
It'll still be 1:00 my time.
if we get there at 1, we're going to be sadly
You greatly disappointed. Yeah. You guys need to get there so you can get in the pro shop and get your posters.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get there early. Two last things, and if anybody even listens to it to this part, because we're just joshing around. The Chargers and Chiefs game was flex to Sunday night.
Yep.
And I meant to bring this up at the beginning, but I haven't heard. Oh gosh, just lost his name. Son of a mother trucker. He quarterback for the Bills. Sorry, I just want
Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything on how bad his hand or
Injury.
arm is. I wish him the best because I like to compete against the best. And if he is slightly injured or whatever, get it taken care of, and we'll see you in the playoffs.
Oh, what? I guess I missed that. What happened?
So when he went to pass, someone bent his hand
Really?
way back. I don't know what they call that injury. Do you remember, Gunner?
I don't. I was reading an article about it earlier.
But yeah, I'm just saying, I don't like to see people get injured. Even our biggest foe in the AFC West. I mean, in the AFC at this point.
Yeah.
But if you are injured, speedy recovery. Hopefully, it's not anything serious. And again, we'll see you in the playoffs.
Hey, just out of curiosity, there, gang. Who does anybody know what the AFC standing is right now?
We're in second place behind Buffalo.
But how are we behind Buffalo?
Because they have the better conference record.
But we have a better record.
Doesn't matter. It goes conference first. Win-loss and conference. We've lost more conference games. We beat.
Oh,
we have a better record outside of the conference than they do, but conference comes first. So I think it's Bills, Chiefs, Baltimore, and I can't remember the next one off the top of my head. I think those are the top 3.
So we're 6-2. We've lost to the Bills and we've lost to the Colts, both AFC teams.
Right. And they've lost.
They're 5 and
no, they're
3?
6 and no, they're
6 and 3.
They're 6 and
6
2
and 3.
Well, Buffalo is 6 and 2.
They had their bye week yet?
No. They're only 6 and 2. I mean, they're 6 and 2. I thought they lost 3 games.
No, 6 and 2.
Okay.
And they lost to one conference and one non-conference. That's why they're ahead of us.
Gotcha.
And then after that, it goes by, I think, points. Can't remember. I think points are next when it comes to conference. But yeah, they're ahead of us. I'll say they're ahead of us by half game, basically. So, and unfortunately, if the quarterback's injured, and I love football.
Sprained his UCL.
Did it say if he's in or out or?
No, they don't have any
TBD?
update yet. TBD, and they said that's something that happens to a lot of pitchers, like baseball pitchers.
And they're
That's
usually
where they
out.
get Tommy John surgery. So
Yeah, like me, I've had two, one on each.
Yep.
But yeah, I wish Josh Allen the best. I like having competition.
Well, yeah, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just being upfront.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But I hope he's good.
My thing is, I don't know. Yeah, we'll let it go with that.
I meant to bring that up at the start of the show, when we talk about just general NFL news. And I think our wide receiver, I think he caught one pass, the first pass of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He caught the first pass, and then
Tony.
I don't think anything else.
Tony. Sorry. God, I am just fucking this guy's name up. I apologize, listener. I think I called him Tooney every chance I got last week.
But anyway, I think he caught the first pass of the game, and that was it. To my knowledge, obviously being at the game, I don't know all the stats, and but we'll see what happens with him. As the season progresses.
And it's just another weapon for Mahomes to get out there.
Well,
obviously we're not going to run the ball. We're just going to throw the ball. So we might as well have a lot of weapons that can get out and get open. So
at this point, I say put Clyde Edwards back at number 1 RB. And
let him do his thing.
Yeah, I mean,
yep,
he is the best from what I've seen. Using Pacheco the last 2 games, trying to be RB1, and McKinnon, for the love of God, put Clyde Edwards as Helaire back in. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. It was a pleasure hanging out with you again, you and Bobby this weekend.
Yeah, we had a great time, man. We always have a lot. We always have a lot of fun when we're out there with you guys. So, and if playoff time, that's when we decide we're going. Then, we have like I said. Once we get to the playoffs and hopefully we're hosting multiple games in the playoffs, we will make those decisions as we come across them. And whether it's, me and the rocker chick or Gunner and Sarah or me and Gunner or maybe the rocker chick and Sarah, whenever the scenario may be, or maybe, we won't make those. We'll just, put them out there for sale or whatever.
Yeah.
We haven't made that final choice yet, but
no worries.
We'll figure it out when we get there. Let's not put the cart before the horse right just yet. So I expect and I hope that we get to host every game in the playoffs. That's just good shit when we can do that. So
yeah, because it's a good moneymaker if you can't go, to help pay for your tickets for next year.
Right.
At least sell one game, especially if we're division leaders, obviously,
Right. Which I do believe we are at this point. So we'll take it.
So, this was the other thing I forgot at the beginning of the show. Patrick Mahomes became the first player in the Super Bowl era with at least 400 yards and a touchdown passing and 60 yards and a touchdown in a single game. Rushing touchdown.
Touchdown.
So there we go.
Another record for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I knew I was missing something that I actually took a print screen of.
Right.
But yeah, we'll have to.
Well, I'm hoping that someday I get to meet that guy and we can sit down and have a conversation. Maybe someday we'll get him on this podcast.
Yeah, you never know. But remind me next time to get all that shit out of the way because we normally do all that at the front end.
Yeah.
Stats and new records and
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done. That's
all right. Chico, in the famous words of the Emperor via Vanilla Thunder, you got my socials?
Yep.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do you have the papers?
You got you got
do.
your pictures?
I got my stuff right here. Good. Lord.
Everybody, thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. And if you want to tell us about your trips out to KC, you want to talk about the game, you can send us an email to inchiefsfanspodcast@gmail.com. And you can also go check out any of the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the Call Guys podcast, Golden Image podcast,
Fuck it, Colton.
the Murdnerds, or
Wait.
United States of Paranormal. You can find all of those podcasts on all your favorite social media sites and anywhere you get your podcasts. Skywalker has now changed the way I do socials, so
And coming soon.
yep. A Court of Books and Blues.
Yep. The newest podcast coming to Golden Mojo Entertainment. We're excited for that to begin sometime by the first of the year. So,
Can you repeat the name again?
A Court of Books and Booze.
What is the format for this one?
Book club.
it is the book club.
A drinking book?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a court, not a quart. It is a court, like a courtroom, not a quart of.
Damn, I was thinking a quart of alcohol. I was like, I'm in on this action.
Yes,
No.
yes.
The court of books and booze. So that'll be pretty exciting.
Nice.
We're looking
Makes
forward
sense.
to it. They've got a few recordings, so we got to get some editing done, and we'll see when we can get it pushed out. But thank you, Chico. Great job as always.
You got it.
Anything else you want to add before we close out?
I'm ready for bed.
Oh my gosh, I am so not ready. My second one's kicking in like I told you it would.
Oh, watch out.
Uh-oh.
The
I got this
fireball's
thing.
coming out.
This thing still got to convert down before I go to bed, so
Well, you don't trust technology?
no.
Yeah, I do.
I've had way too many
Some-
things get deleted.
Sometimes a little too much.
Yes.
All right.
All right, guys, from our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, I just have one question for you boys. Are you ready? How about those Chiefs? I will see you guys next week. Go KC.
See you later, brother.